Howdy, folks. Welcome to Marty Mar News. I'm Marty Mar, your trusted source for all things funny and southern. We're gonna have a rootin' tootin' good time today. So sit back, relax, and let's dive right into the news. Y'all know, folks are always saying that laughter is the best medicine, and I reckon they're right. That's why I'm here to bring you the news with a side of southern charm and a whole heap of humor. We've got some real knee slappers lined up for you today, from wacky weather to peculiar politicians. So grab yourself a glass of sweet tea, settle in, and get ready for a laugh riot. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. That way, you won't miss a single one of my hilarious news updates. Well, folks, gather around and listen up. We're heading over to Hawaii for this here news story. Now, you know Hawaii is all about those beautiful islands, right? They got beaches, sunshine, and more pineapples than you can shake a stick at. But there's one thing missing in paradise, a good old-fashioned ferry system. That's right, folks, getting between those islands ain't as easy as it should be. Seems like they tried to get a ferry system going, but it went belly up faster than a catfish in a bathtub. Now, I don't claim to be a sailor, but I reckon even I could navigate a boat better than that. It's enough to make you wonder if they put a bunch of landlubbers in charge of the whole shebang. You see, folks, back in the 90s, Hawaii had this grand idea. They figured, why fly when you can sail? They envisioned folks leisurely island hopping on these big old ferries, enjoying the ocean breeze and the scenic views. Sounds like a fine idea, right? Well, it sure seemed that way at first, but just like a bad sunburn, this plan quickly started to blister. Those crystal clear waters hid some powerful currents, and those gentle breezes turned into gale force winds. Turns out navigating those waters ain't as easy as it looks on a postcard. And the cost of building ferries strong enough to handle those waves, well, let's just say it cost more than a pig in a poke. So what's a body to do if they want to explore all those beautiful islands? Well, folks, it seems like flying is the only game in town. That's right, airplanes rule the skies in Hawaii, and those airline tickets, they're about as pricey as a $3 bill. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'd much rather be sipping on a Mai Tai on a ferry than crammed into a tiny airplane seat. But hey, I guess that's the price you pay for paradise. Some folks have suggested building bridges between the islands. Now that's an idea I can get behind. Just imagine driving from Maui to Oahu, enjoying the ocean views all the way. But until that day comes, it seems like we're stuck with airplanes. So if you're planning a trip to Hawaii, be prepared to shell out some serious dough for those flights. Or, better yet, just pick an island and stay put. Now, I'm gonna go grab myself a big old glass of sweet tea and dream about those Hawaiian sunsets. Stay tuned, folks, because we got more hilarious news coming up right after the break. Well, folks, it seems like even paradise ain't immune to a little bit of mischief. Our next story takes us from the sunny beaches of Hawaii to the halls of power, where we meet a politician who's got a hankering for something a little stronger than pineapple juice. This here fella, let's just call him Slick Willie, was caught with his hand in the cookie jar, or should I say, the campaign fund. Seems like our boy Willie had a bit of a sweet tooth, but instead of spending those campaign donations on, actual campaigning, he decided to treat himself to a life of luxury. We're talking fancy cars, designer suits, and enough vacations to make a travel agent blush. Now, I ain't one to judge, but it seems to me that Willie's idea of serving the people involved a whole lot of self-serving. But here's where things get real interesting, folks. It turns out, Willie had a particular weakness for donuts. And not just any donuts, mind you, but those fancy gourmet ones that cost more than a fill-up at the gas station. The authorities started noticing a pattern. Every time Willie made a big withdrawal from the campaign fund, a hefty charge for donuts would pop up on his credit card. Coincidence? I think not. They followed the trail of glazed goodness all the way to a swanky beach resort where they found Willie living it up like a king on the taxpayer's dime. Let's just say when the cops showed up, Willie was about as happy as a tick on a rolling pin. Well, folks, Willie's days of high living came to a screeching halt faster than a pig in a windstorm. He was hauled off to court, looking about as comfortable as a skunk at a garden party. The judge, a no-nonsense woman with a voice that could curdle sweet tea, read him the riot act. Willie tried to plead his case, saying those donuts were for constituent outreach and those vacations were for stress relief. But the judge wasn't buying it. She sentenced him to a few years in the slammer, where he could contemplate the error of his ways over a plate of mystery meat and stale bread. I reckon Willie learned the hard way that crime doesn't pay, especially when you're using campaign funds to fuel your donut addiction. And so, folks, the moral of the story is this. If you're going to be a politician, at least have the decency to spend your ill-gotten gains on something a little more dignified than donuts. Or better yet, how about actually doing your job and serving the people? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go grab myself a jelly-filled and ponder the mysteries of the universe. Stay tuned for more Marty Mar news, coming right up after the break. Well, folks, hold on to your Santa hats, 'cause this next story is gonna knock your Christmas stockings off. You know how folks up north, they get all excited about snow and reindeer and whatnot? Well, down here in the islands, we do things a little differently. Seems like a group of fellas decided to spread some Christmas cheer Hawaiian style. They traded in their snow boots for flip-flops and their reindeer for surfboards. And let me tell you, they made quite a splash. Now, I've seen some sights in my time, but nothing quite like a bunch of Santas catching waves. They were out there in the ocean, beards flying in the wind, looking like a flock of red and white pelicans. Hanging 10 with Santa. These weren't your average mall Santas, mind you. These boys knew their way around a surfboard. They were carving up those waves, doing tricks, and even attempting a few hang 10s. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I wouldn't want to try that with a belly full of milk and cookies. The beachgoers were loving it, cheering and hollering as Santa and his elves rode the waves. Even the tourists put down their Mai Tais and pineapple pizzas to watch the show. It was enough to melt the heart of even the grinchiest Scrooge. Now, I've heard of surfing dogs and surfing cats, but surfing Santas, that's a whole new level of awesome. And speaking of awesome, you wouldn't believe who else showed up. That's right, folks, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer himself made an appearance. Now, I don't know how he got from the North Pole to Hawaii, but I reckon that shiny red nose of his doubles as a GPS. Rudolph wasn't content to just watch from the sidelines, though. He borrowed a surfboard from one of the elves and hit the waves, that red nose of his lighting up the ocean like a beacon. Let's just say, Rudolph's got some serious surfing skills. It was a sight to behold, folks, a real Christmas miracle. Who needs snow and reindeer when you've got sunshine, surfboards, and a whole lot of holiday spirit? So the next time you're dreaming of a white Christmas, why not shake things up a bit? Head on down to Hawaii, grab yourself a surfboard, and join the Surfin' Santas. It's an experience you won't soon forget, folks, I guarantee it. And remember, folks, it's always a good time for some Christmas cheer, even if it's July and you're wearing flip-flops. Stay tuned for more Marty Mar news coming right up after the break. Well, folks, gather around and listen up close, because this next story is a real head-scratcher. You know how we're always talking about folks stealing cars or robbing banks? Well, this here story involves a crime wave of a different feather. We're talking about chickens, y'all. That's right, chickens. Seems like there's been a rash of chicken thefts over on the Big Island. Now, I ain't talking about a few feathers missing from a coop. We're talking full-on chicken nappings with dozens of birds disappearing into thin air. The folks over there are baffled, and rightfully so. I mean, who in their right mind would steal a bunch of chickens? It's enough to make you wonder if there's a black market for chicken wings I don't know about. Now, the authorities are taking this seriously, because, these ain't just any chickens. We're talking prize-winning poultry here, with feathers as bright as a rainbow, and personalities bigger than a rodeo clown. Some folks are speculating that it's the work of rival chicken enthusiasts, out to sabotage the competition. Others are whispering about a secret society of chicken worshippers who believe that these birds hold the key to eternal happiness. I don't know about all that, but I do know one thing. These chickens didn't just fly the coop on their own. The chicken owners are on high alert, installing security cameras, motion detectors, and even guard dogs to protect their feathered friends. Some folks are even resorting to sleeping out in their coops at night, armed with nothing but a fly swatter and a prayer. It's gotten so bad that the local grocery stores are running low on chicken, and the price of eggs has gone up higher than a kite in a hurricane. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to get a little nervous. If these chicken thieves ain't stopped soon, who knows what they'll target next. So, if you happen to be in Hawaii and you see a suspicious-looking character carrying a burlap sack that's moving and shaking, do us all a favor and call the authorities. And if you're thinking about ordering a plate of chicken wings, you might want to think again. Those wings might just belong to a prize-winning rooster named Big Bird. Well, folks, that's all the news we have time for today. Remember, if you see something, say something, especially if it involves missing chickens. Stay tuned for more Marty Mar news coming right up after the break. Well, folks, that's all the time we got for today's dose of Marty Mar news. We've had ourselves a real hoot, haven't we? Remember, life's too short to be serious all the time, so find something that tickles your funny bone and hang on tight. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the fun. You know what they say, laughter is the best medicine, and I aim to keep you all stocked up. Until next time, folks, keep on laughing, keep on smiling, and remember, life's a whole lot more fun when you're looking at the bright side. From all of us here at Marty Mar News, y'all have a good one.